How is your life going to look 6 months from now? Spirit, for the viewer, how is their life going to look 6 months from now? What do we need to know, please? Ooh, we've got a lot of cards that have come out. Let's have a little peek. Bottom of the deck, we have got the Knight of Rods. We have the Lovers, the Four of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Six of Cups. Gosh, we do have a lot of cards. The Ten of Blades, the Tower, Justice, and the Sun. There is a lot that's going on, and the first thing that I'm really noticing is that we have numerous major arcanas. So there are some really big events that are coming over the next 6 months. This is speaking of a profound transformation that is going to happen. This is speaking of deep shifts and of liberation, and really stepping into a life that feels aligned to your truth. Where to even start with this? I see love and choices, legalities, and possibly a move. Okay, let's start with the Lover's card. So yes, this could be talking about romantic situations, but this also could be talking about partnerships. And this is a card that came up for this collective just a couple of days ago. Now, one of the lesser known meanings of the Lover's card is that of choices and decisions. It is suggesting that over the 6 months, you will be making some really important decisions that will shape your future. And these, quite literally, are going to be heart-based decisions, maybe putting logic aside and going with what you intuitively feel. Putting this together with some of the court cards that we have here, we have the Queen of Rods and we have the Queen of Swords. What I'm feeling is that although these are heart-based decisions, they are also going to create a lot of common sense here with the Queen of Swords. I feel that you are going to take some very decisive actions. I am also feeling that this is very related to the Tower card, some certain endings, moves that will be made. You are going to have a very clear vision of what it is that you are trying to create and following your desires. Again, this can be talking about partnerships. And what is interesting is that if you notice the way that their heads are turned, they are both facing in the same direction, meaning that they have the same goal in sight. Now, one of my personal meanings to the Queen of Rods is someone who is incredibly in tune with God, the universe, their higher self, whichever terminology you prefer to use. So this move or this shift or this choice that is going to be made is coming from a very high source. This is also incredibly creative energy, especially when we pair these two together. This is the creativity and this is putting it into action. So I feel like this is to do with relationships, but I also feel that this is very career-based. I feel like all of it ties in together. There is an entire picture that is being formed here. Over the next 6 months, it feels like it's not just one aspect of your life that is shifting and changing, but many, like a complete new beginning, especially when we pair this with the Ten of Swords here. It is talking about cutting away all loose ends for a clear start. And this clear start may come sooner than anticipated here with this Tower card. The Tower cards, they talk about shifts and changes. We see all the skulls in this card giving almost a death-like energy. The image does suggest themes of destruction, decay, and transformation. And in order for you to get from where you are now to where you are wanting to be, there may be this period that feels utterly chaotic. Just store this part of the reading in your memory because what you see next is the Sun card, that this chaos does not last forever. We then have one of these happiest cards of the deck, the Sun card. After this upheaval of the Tower, we see the sun shine through, bringing joy and that sense of relief. Wherever you land, literally or metaphorically, you're going to feel more at ease, freer, and possibly in a place where you're going to thrive. This is a sign that everything is working in your favor, even if this transition is extremely intense. If I was to pair this with the Six of Cups, it is suggesting that perhaps in the next 6 months you will not only step into a brighter, more aligned phase of life, but it may also be very connected to your past in some way. Again, this can be talking about soul connections. And if you've seen my readings before, we've talked about this particular card and the words here that say labs, suggesting that perhaps there has been tests along the way. It certainly can talk of a soulmate energy, bringing a deep emotional bond or sense of feeling at home again. Given that I often see the Tower card as a card that can talk about a move, this could indicate that where you land feels very familiar, comforting, or really connected to your past. You may return to a place that you once lived or visit a location that is somehow tied to your childhood, especially here when we have this Page of Rods. These cards can speak of reunion with an old friend or a past love, or someone who once played a very important role in your life. So what I see are relationships and even creative pursuits, whether that be for a hobby or a career path, that brings a lot of happiness and fulfillment. The Justice card is suggesting that things are falling into place exactly as they are meant to. The Justice card in this particular deck is rather lovely. On one half we see the heart and the other we see the cerebral cortex. And after this shake-up with the Tower, this brings a sense of stability and structure. Things will feel right, in balance and aligned. All of these cards could really be indicating that a move or this transition that is coming within the next 6 months is part of a bigger picture, that you are stepping into a phase of your life that feels fair, true, and something that feels like it was meant for you. Now, while all of this is happening with the Four of Cups, it can often speak about resistance or an initial reluctance or even a feeling of emotional detachment. There could certainly be a bit of fear or emotional uncertainty, even doubt, as to whether this life is for you. So what we see here is this wonderful possibility that is being offered to you. A move, a reunion, or a passion rekindled, but you may initially resist or feel indifferent to it. The key here is to trust what life is bringing you, because I have a feeling that for whomever this resonates with, the next 6 months is going to be exactly what your soul needs. Of course, as always, this is a collective reading and therefore it is not going to resonate with everyone. So please always listen to your intuition as to whether this reading is for you. For those that would like their own private reading, there is a link in my bio to same-day readings that will be returned to you within 24 hours. I would also invite those who have ever had a curiosity about learning beginner's tarot. I have created a beautiful online course for you, and currently the price is only $44. This can be done in your own time frame, and there is a possibility of accreditation once it's been completed. The link again is within my bio.